Be me, 22 years old, peak nerd energy, dating Emma for 8 months now. She's into cosplay, which is basically my dream come true. That feel when you think you're living in a rom-com anime. Emma does this amazing Asuka from Evangelion cosplay, red hair, blue eyes, the whole deal. She looks incredible, and I feel like I won the lottery. We met at a convention where she was dressed as 02. My autism levels were through the roof, but somehow I didn't drop spaghetti, walked up to her booth where she was selling prints. Hey, your cosplay is really accurate to the source material. Smooth as sandpaper, but it worked somehow. She laughed and said I was the first guy not to immediately comment on her chest. Exchange numbers and start texting about anime. First date we watched Your Name, and she cried during the comet scene. Second date was Dragon Ball Super movie. Third date she invited me to help her with a photo shoot. My face when she asked me to be her photographer felt like the main character of a slice of life romance for once. Emma starts working on this massive Makima cosplay from Chainsaw Man. Spends 3 months perfecting every detail, custom contact lenses, perfect wig, professional makeup. I'm helping her practice poses and taking reference photos. She's getting really into character, studying Makima's mannerisms, starts talking about how Makima is the perfect woman. She's confident, powerful, knows what she wants. I'm thinking this is just method acting or whatever. Emma books a professional photographer for the shoot. Some guy named Jake who specializes in anime cosplay photography. Meet him at the studio and immediately feel uncomfortable. Dude looks like he stepped out of a Korean drama. 6 feet tall, perfect hair, jawline that could cut glass. My face when I realize I look like a background character next to this guy. Emma's eyes literally sparkle when she sees him. Oh my god, you look exactly like Denji from the manga. Jake laughs and says he gets that a lot. During the shoot, Emma is acting way different, more confident, more flirty, basically becoming Makima. She's doing these intense stares directly at Jake. Makima would totally dominate someone like Denji. Jake is eating it up, suggesting more intimate poses. Try looking at me like you own my soul. Emma does this perfect Makima smile that makes my stomach drop. The chemistry between them is so obvious, even my socially awkward brain picks up on it. After 3 hours of watching my girlfriend flirt with discount anime protagonist, we wrap up and Emma won't stop talking about how professional Jake is. He really understands the characters, you know? That feel when your girlfriend finds someone who gets it better than you. Next week, Emma posts the photos and they blow up on social media. Thousands of likes, hundreds of comments about how perfect her Makima is. Jake reposts them with fire emojis and heart eyes. Emma starts liking all his posts, commenting on his other cosplay shoots. I try to bring it up casually. You seem to really admire Jake's work. He's just so talented. He makes me feel like I'm really becoming the character. Red flags everywhere, but I'm hoping I'm just being paranoid. Emma starts working on a new cosplay immediately. Power from Chainsaw Man this time. Jake offered to do another shoot for free since the last one did so well. My autism brain is screaming danger, but I don't want to seem controlling. Day of the power shoot arrives, and Emma asks if I want to come watch. Show up to find Jake dressed as Denji again. Apparently they planned a couple's cosplay shoot without mentioning it to me. Emma looks amazing as Power, but she's only looking at Jake. They start doing these romantic poses together. Jake puts his arm around her waist. She leans into him perfectly. This is perfect. You two have such natural chemistry. Photographer is eating this up while I stand in the corner like an NPC. Emma giggles at everything Jake says, starts talking in Power's voice and calling him buddy, which is basically flirting in Power language. After the shoot, Jake suggests they grab dinner to discuss future collaborations. Emma looks at me like she forgot I existed. Oh, you don't mind if I go with Jake, right? It's just business stuff. That feel when your girlfriend asks permission to go on a date with someone else. I want to say no, but I don't want to be that controlling boyfriend. Sure, just text me when you get home. Watch them leave together and immediately regret everything. Emma doesn't text me until 2 in the morning. Had such an inspiring conversation with Jake about cosplay and character development. Next few days, she's constantly on her phone, laughing at messages, taking forever to reply to mine. Starts talking about how she wants to take her cosplay more seriously. Maybe even do it professionally like Jake suggested. My face when I realize she's been planning her exit strategy. Emma starts spending more time working on cosplays at Jake's studio. Comes home with new makeup techniques and poses she learned. Starts critiquing my photography skills. Jake showed me how to really capture the essence of a character. Translation: you suck and he doesn't. 2 weeks later, Emma shows up to my apartment with a serious expression. We need to talk. Classic breakup opener. My heart immediately drops to my stomach. I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I want in life. Here we go with the self-discovery speech. Jake has helped me realize my potential as a cosplayer. I think we want different things. My face when she's basically reading from a breakup script. It's not you, it's me, but also it's definitely you. Try to argue that we can work things out. What about all our plans to go to conventions together? Emma looks genuinely confused, like she forgot we had plans. Think it's better if we see other people. Translation. I'm already seeing Jake, and you're in the way. She packs her stuff and leaves most of her old cosplay items behind, finds out through Instagram that Emma and Jake are officially dating. They post couples cosplay photos within a week of our breakup. My timeline is just them dressed as various anime couples looking perfect together. Nezuko and Tanjiro, Rem and Subaru, Asuka and Shinji. Emma captions every photo with quotes about finding your perfect scene partner, that feel when your ex finds her anime protagonist and you're just the forgettable side character. Try to get back into dating, but keep comparing everyone to Emma. Match with other cosplay girls on dating apps. They all seem basic compared to Emma's dedication. Realize I fell in love with her hobby more than her personality. Emma starts getting sponsored by cosplay companies. See her at conventions with Jake looking like the perfect cosplay power couple. They have matching business cards and everything. My face when I realize she actually did go professional, like she wanted. Jake quit his day job to become a full-time cosplay photographer. They travel to different conventions together as their job, living the weeb dream that I thought we were going to build together. 6 months later, I run into Emma at a local convention. She's dressed as Marin from My Dress Up Darling. Jake is cosplaying as Gojo, obviously. They look disgustingly happy together. Emma sees me and waves like we're old friends. Hey stranger, how have you been? Casual as if she didn't completely destroy my faith in relationships. Doing good, just checking out the artist alley. She starts telling me about all their upcoming projects, sponsored trips to Japan, collaboration with famous cosplayers, basically rubbing in how much better her life is now. You should follow our new YouTube channel. We do cosplay tutorials. My face when she's trying to get me to subscribe to watch her be happy with someone else. Jake comes over and puts his arm around Emma's waist. Babe, ready for our panel in 10 minutes? They have their own panel now about couples cosplaying. Nice seeing you again, dude. Jake is actually polite, which makes it worse. Can't even hate him properly because he's genuinely nice. Watch them walk away together and realize I never had a chance. Emma didn't leave me for Jake specifically. She left me for the idea of what Jake represented. The perfect cosplay partner who understood her passion. Someone who could help her turn her hobby into a lifestyle. I was just the placeholder boyfriend until she found her real co-protagonist. That feel when you realize you were never the main character in her story. Just the childhood friend who gets forgotten once the real love interest shows up. Decide to focus on my own hobbies instead of trying to find another Emma. Start learning photography to understand what she saw. In Jake, get into collecting vintage anime figures instead of chasing cosplay girls. Maybe I'll find someone who appreciates quiet museum dates over convention chaos. Or maybe I'll just become the guy who has really good taste in anime merchandise. Either way, I'm done being someone's practice boyfriend. That feel when you finally accept that some people are meant to be supporting characters. And that's okay as long as you're the main character of your own story. Emma posted an engagement announcement 8 months later. Jake proposed at an anime convention dressed as their favorite characters. The ring is designed to look like an anime power gem. All the comments are about how perfect they are together. And honestly, they kind of are. My face when I realize I'm genuinely happy. Happy for them. Took me almost a year, but I can appreciate that Emma found what she was looking for, even if it wasn't me. Started dating a girl named Grace who thinks anime is weird, but tolerates my figures. She makes fun of my Dakimakura collection, but in an affectionate way. We watch normal movies together, and she doesn't critique my photography skills. That feel when you find someone who likes you for who you are instead of who you could become. Still see Emma and Jake's posts sometimes, and they look genuinely happy. Running a successful cosplay business, traveling the world, living their best weeb life. No longer feels like a personal attack on my worth as a human being. Maybe Emma leaving was the best thing that could have happened to both of us. She got her anime love story, and I learned to stop trying to be someone else's ideal boyfriend. My face when I realized this whole experience was just character development. And now I'm ready for my own romance arc with someone who actually wants to be in it. Be me, 40 years old virgin. Not even ashamed about it anymore. Honestly, couldn't care less. Wake up at 6 a.m. sharp every day for the past 15 years. Same routine, same coffee, same breakfast. Work from home doing database management for insurance companies. Boring job, but pays well and nobody bothers me. Live alone in a decent 2-bedroom apartment. Second bedroom is my home office / gaming setup. Got a nice mechanical keyboard and dual monitor setup. Spend most evenings playing old school RPGs or reading. Never felt the need to chase women or go to bars. Tried dating apps when I was 25, got maybe 3 matches total. All 3 conversations died after, "Hey, how's your day?" Deleted the apps and never looked back. Parents stopped asking about grandchildren around my 35th birthday. Mom occasionally brings it up during family dinners. You know, Emma from church is still single. That's nice, Mom. Can you pass the potatoes? Dad understands and just talks to me about sports or work. Brother got married at 28, has 2 kids now. Brings his family over for holidays and his wife always looks at me weird, like I'm some kind of puzzle she needs to solve. Kids are alright though, don't judge me for playing video games with them. 8-year-old nephew thinks I'm the coolest uncle because I have all the retro consoles. Taught him how to beat the first level of Mega Man 2. Sister-in-law asks if I'm seeing anyone while we're decorating the Christmas tree. Nope, still flying solo. Don't you get lonely? Not really, I like my own company. She gives me that pitying look women always give me. Honestly, don't understand what's supposed to be sad about my life. Wake up when I want, eat what I want, watch what I want. Apartment is clean because I'm the only one messing it up. Bathroom stays the way I left it. Nobody nagging me about leaving dishes in the sink for one day. Nobody asking me to change the channel during the game. Nobody complaining about my music being too loud. Go to the grocery store every Sunday at 8 a.m. Same cashier named Grace, always working. She's probably 35, divorced with kids based on her small talk. Always friendly, but never flirty. Appreciates that I bag my own groceries and don't hold up the line. How was your week? Same as always, Grace. How about yours? Kids had soccer tournaments all weekend. Sounds exhausting. It is, but worth it. Pay for my groceries and leave. Never occurred to me to ask her out or anything. She seems happy with her life, and I'm happy with mine. Get home and meal prep for the week. Watch Netflix while cooking, usually some documentary. Learn more about serial killers than any normal person should know. Also, really into those nature documentaries with British narrators. Penguins are fascinating creatures, much more interesting than dating. Sunday evenings are for organizing my week. Check my calendar, respond to any work emails. Usually play online games with random people. Good at team-based shooters because I actually communicate. Most players are younger, but they respect that I carry my weight. Never use voice chat though. Don't need some 16-year-old calling me ancient. Monday through Friday is work routine. Coffee at 7 a.m. sharp, check emails, start my daily tasks. Database optimization is actually pretty satisfying, like solving puzzles but with spreadsheets and code. Take lunch break at noon, usually a sandwich and some fruit. Afternoon is more database work until 5 p.m. Evening routine is dinner, maybe some TV or reading. Bed by 10 p.m. because I'm not 20 anymore and need proper sleep. Weekends are for errands and hobbies. Hit the gym Saturday mornings when it's less crowded, not trying to get ripped or impress anyone. Just want to avoid back problems and stay healthy. Old guys at the gym nod at each other but don't really talk. We're all just there to maintain our bodies and leave. Afternoon is usually spent on personal projects, building custom PCs for people as a side business. Word of mouth got me a decent client base. People appreciate that I don't oversell them on parts they don't need. You just need this for email and Facebook. Here's a basic setup. You want a game at 4K, this is what you actually need. Honest work, and I enjoy building systems. Sometimes clients try to set me up with their daughters or sisters. She's really nice and loves computers too. Politely decline every time. Thanks, but I'm not really looking to date right now. Which is true, I'm genuinely not looking, not avoiding it out of fear or insecurity. Just never developed that drive to couple up. Maybe I'm wired different, or maybe I'm just content. Friday nights are movie nights for myself. Make popcorn, dim the lights, watch something classic. Worked my way through all the Criterion Collection films. Kurosawa is a master filmmaker. Seven Samurai never gets old. Also enjoy old westerns and film noir. Sometimes wonder if this makes me pretentious, but don't really care. Taste in movies doesn't hurt anyone. Social life consists of occasional beers with coworkers. They're all married with kids, so conversations are predictable. How's married life treating you? You know how it is. Wife wants to remodel the kitchen. Sounds expensive. Everything's expensive with kids. They sometimes ask about my dating life out of politeness. Still playing the field. Easier than explaining that there is no field. They assume I'm some kind of player, which is hilarious. 40-year-old virgin who builds computers and watches foreign films. Real Casanova material right there. Annual physical checkup. Always includes the doctor asking about relationships. Any changes in your personal life? Nope, still single. Are you sexually active? Not currently. Doctor nods and moves on to blood pressure. No judgment, just checking boxes on his form. Probably C's. Plenty of single middle-aged patients. Blood work always comes back normal. Cholesterol is fine, blood sugar is good. Apparently living alone agrees with my health. Vacation time gets used for solo trips. Went to Japan last year to see the cherry blossoms. Toured temples, ate amazing food, took pictures of gardens. Other tourists always traveled in couples or groups. Enjoyed having my own schedule and not negotiating what to see. Could spend 3 hours in a single temple if I wanted. Didn't have to pretend to be interested in shopping districts. Hotel staff was professional and didn't ask about traveling alone. Japanese culture appreciates people who mind their own business. Came back relaxed and recharged. Coworkers asked if I met anyone interesting. Yeah, this 800-year-old monk statue was pretty fascinating. They laughed, but I was being serious. The craftsmanship was incredible and the history was rich. Retirement planning is straightforward when you're single. No college funds to worry about. No spouse's career to consider. Maxing out my 401k and have a healthy emergency fund. Looking at maybe retiring early if I keep living modestly. Could probably quit at 55 and live comfortably. Might travel more or finally write that novel I've been thinking about. Always wanted to try writing science fiction. Got plenty of ideas from all those documentaries and books. Neighborhood knows me as the quiet guy who keeps his lawn nice. Mrs. Henderson next door sometimes brings me cookies. Her husband passed away 2 years ago and she lives alone now. We chat about gardening and the weather. You're such a nice young man. 40 isn't young, but I appreciate the sentiment. She never asks why I don't have a family. Just accepts that I'm her helpful neighbor who fixes her computer sometimes. Halloween is always interesting because parents assume I'm some kind of threat. Single middle-aged man living alone equals potential danger. Apparently. Solve this by just turning off all my lights and pretending I'm not home. Don't need the drama and I don't eat candy anyway. Christmas decorations are minimal but tasteful. String lights around the windows, small tree with simple ornaments. Family comes over for Christmas Eve dinner every year. Cook a nice meal and everyone appreciates having somewhere to gather. Nephew and niece love the presents I get them. Research what kids their age actually want instead of guessing. Sister-in-law has stopped making comments about my single status. Maybe she finally realized I'm genuinely happy with my life. New Year's Eve is usually spent at home reading or gaming. Don't see the point in crowded bars and overpriced drinks. Midnight comes and goes while I'm probably solving some puzzle game. Wake up January 1st, feeling exactly the same as December 31st, which is perfectly fine with me. Coworkers always have dramatic stories about their relationships, arguments with spouses, teenage banta, kids causing problems, weekend plans getting canceled because of family obligations. Listen politely but never feel like I'm missing out. My weekends are exactly what I want them to be. Grocery shopping, gym, personal projects, relaxation. Nobody asking me to attend Little League games or school plays. Nobody complaining that I work too much or don't help enough around the house. Financial situation is solid because I only support myself. Car is paid off and well maintained. Apartment rent is reasonable and I've been here for 8 years. Landlord likes me because I never cause problems. Pay rent on time, don't throw parties, keep the place clean. Occasionally help other tenants with computer problems. Building knows me as the tech guy who's always willing to help. Never asked for anything in return, just like solving problems. Dating apps occasionally show up as ads on websites. Photos of happy couples and promises to find your soulmate. Never feel tempted to download them again. Tried that experiment already and it wasn't for me. Rather spend my time on hobbies that actually interest me. Learned woodworking during the pandemic. Built some nice shelves for my books and games. Meditative process and satisfying to create something with your hands. Friends from high school sometimes reach out on social media. Most of them are divorced now with shared custody arrangements. They post pictures of their kids and complain about alimony. Always seem stressed about money and ex-wife drama. My timeline is pictures of food I cooked and places I traveled. No drama, no complaints, just a quiet life well lived. That feel when you realize you've never felt the need to prove yourself to anyone. My face. When people assume being alone means being lonely. Be me, 24 years old, accidentally became a cougar magnet. Started when I was 22 working at this upscale coffee shop downtown. All the customers were businesswomen in their 30s and 40s. Learned to make proper espresso drinks and actually give good customer service. Turns out being polite and remembering orders gets you noticed. First cougar was Patricia, 38, divorce lawyer. Came in every morning at 7:30 sharp for a double-shot cortado. Always dressed in expensive suits, carried designer purse. Started making small talk about how most baristas don't know coffee. You actually understand the difference between a cortado and a Gibraltar. Felt proud that someone appreciated my coffee knowledge. One morning, Patricia slides me her business card. If you ever want to learn about wine, I know some great places. Brain took 30 seconds to process that she was asking me out. Figured why not? Maybe I'll learn something about adult beverages. Meet her at this fancy wine bar where a glass costs more than my hourly wage. Patricia orders for both of us in perfect French. Tells me about different wine regions while I nod and try to look interested. She's actually fascinating to talk to. Traveled all over Europe. Has stories about cases she's won and jerks she's defeated in court. Pays for everything without even looking at the check. Drives me home in her BMW and kisses me goodnight. Felt like I was living in some kind of movie. We date for 3 months and she treats me like royalty. Fancy restaurants, concerts, weekend trips to her beach house. Teaches me about good wine, proper table manners, how to tip correctly. Introduces me to her friends who all seem amused by our age gap. Patricia's boy toy is actually quite charming. Didn't know if I should be offended or flattered. Patricia never made me feel inferior despite the age difference. Encouraged me to apply for better jobs and helped me write my resume. Relationship ends when she gets offered a partnership at a law firm in Seattle. You're amazing, but I'm not taking a 24-year-old to corporate events. Fair enough. We both knew this was temporary. She gives me a very expensive watch as a goodbye gift. Remember to always be punctual and dress better than you can afford. Solid life advice from Patricia, the divorce lawyer. Back to coffee shop life, but now I know what good wine tastes like. Second cougar finds me 2 months later. Veronica, 42, owns her own marketing company. Orders the most complicated drink on the menu every day. Oat milk cappuccino with extra foam and cinnamon dust. Starts complaining about how her employees don't understand dedication. You're here early every morning. Most people your age are lazy. Asks if I want to make extra money doing social media for her company. Meet her at her office, which is basically a Pinterest board, come to life. Exposed brick walls, trendy furniture, motivational quotes everywhere. Veronica explains she needs someone young to handle Instagram and TikTok. I understand business, but I don't understand why people watch dance videos. Start working part-time managing her social media accounts. Veronica is intense about everything, including dating. First date is rock climbing, followed by organic juice bar. She's in better shape than most people my age. Has a morning routine that starts at 5 a.m. with yoga and meditation. Takes supplements I've never heard of and drinks green smoothies. Her apartment looks like a wellness magazine, threw up everywhere. Crystals on every surface and plants in every corner. Teaches me about chakras and energy healing. Not really my thing, but she's passionate about it. Relationship is basically her trying to optimize my entire life. You should cut gluten, dairy, and processed sugar. Meditation will help you find your purpose. Have you considered becoming a life coach? Dating, Veronica is exhausting but educational. Learn about digital marketing, wellness trends, and small business management. She pays me well for the social media work and her company actually grows. Break up after 4 months because she decides I'm not spiritual enough. You need to do more inner work before you're ready for conscious relationship. Gives me a jade roller and some essential oils as a parting gift. Still don't know what a jade roller does, but it looked expensive. Back to coffee shop again. But now I understand Instagram algorithms. Third cougar appears like clockwork. Diane, 35, pediatric surgeon at the hospital across the street, orders black coffee and looks dead inside every morning. Works 12-hour shifts and survives on caffeine and determination. Starts venting to me about hospital politics and difficult patients. 30-hour surgery yesterday, and some parent complained about waiting. Feel bad for her, so I start making her coffee extra strong. Also slip her free pastries when my manager isn't looking. Diane notices and starts tipping really well. You're the only person who doesn't treat me like I'm made of glass. Asks if I want to grab dinner since she finally has a night off. Meet her at this hole-in-the-wall Thai place she discovered. Diane eats like she hasn't seen food in weeks. Tells me horror stories about medical school and residency. Haven't had a proper relationship since I was 26, no time for drama. She's brutally honest about everything, including why she likes younger guys. Men my age want wives and kids immediately. You're mature enough for conversation, but don't expect marriage talk. Perfect arrangement, since I'm not ready for serious commitment either. Dating, Diane is like having a really smart older sister who buys dinner. She explains medical procedures while we watch Netflix. Teaches me basic first aid and how to spot signs of serious illness. Her apartment is minimalist because she's never home. Just expensive sheets, good coffee maker, and medical textbooks. Everywhere. Relationship works because we both have low expectations. She gets companionship without pressure. I get free medical advice. Lasts 6 months until she moves to Boston for a fellowship. You're gonna make some woman very happy someday. Gives me her coffee maker since she won't need it in hospital housing. Still use it daily and think about her surgical precision with espresso. Pattern is becoming clear, but I'm not complaining. Fourth cougar is Candace, 39, real estate agent who sells million-dollar homes, drinks iced vanilla latte year-round regardless of weather, always on phone calls about contracts and closing dates, wears heels that cost more than my monthly rent, starts flirting by asking if I'm interested in property investment. Real estate is the only guaranteed wealth-building strategy. Takes me to open houses in neighborhoods I'll never afford. Teaches me about market trends, interest rates, and property values. Candace treats dating like a business transaction. Schedules our dates in her planner between client meetings. Always has backup plans and contingency strategies. Her car is essentially a mobile office with contracts and signs. Relationship feels like an internship in adult financial planning. Learn about credit scores, investment portfolios, and tax strategies. She pays for everything but itemizes it like a business expense. Breaks up with me after 2 months for inefficient time allocation. You're sweet, but I need someone who can keep up with my schedule. Leaves me a real estate investing book and her business card. Call me when you're ready to buy property. Fifth cougar finds me during my lunch break at the park. Maxine, 41, food critic for the City magazine, sees me eating sad sandwich and looks personally offended. The bread looks like cardboard and the turkey is definitely processed. Starts lecturing me about proper nutrition and food quality. Turns out she was just getting coffee when she spotted my tragic lunch. Asks if I want to learn about real food at this new restaurant opening. Meet her at some farm-to-table place with no prices on the menu. Maxine knows the chef personally and orders things not on the menu. Explains every ingredient and cooking technique while we eat. Her knowledge of food is intimidating and impressive. Has opinions about everything from salt types to proper knife skills. Dating, Maxine is like having a personal food education program. She takes me to cooking classes, wine tastings, and farmers markets. Teaches me to taste wine properly and identify different flavor profiles. Her kitchen has equipment I didn't know existed. Relationship is mostly her trying to refine my peasant palate. You can't put ketchup on everything. It's insulting to the food. Learn to appreciate good ingredients and proper cooking techniques. Break up after 3 months when she gets assigned to review restaurants in France. This is a career. Opportunity I can't pass up. Gives me a set of good kitchen knives and a cookbook. Promise me you'll learn to cook properly. Still use those knives and actually became decent at cooking. Realize I have a type and my type has a type. These women are all successful, independent, and slightly controlling. They want someone young and teachable without long-term commitment. I want someone experienced who can show me how the adult world works. It's a mutually beneficial arrangement most of the time. Sixth cougar is Rebecca, 36, owns 3 fitness studios across the city, orders protein smoothie with extra spinach every morning, has arms that could probably crush me, but in a good way, starts giving me unsolicited fitness advice. Your posture is terrible and you probably never stretch. Offers me free gym membership if I promise to actually use it. Meet her at her flagship studio, which is basically a temple to fitness. Rebecca puts me through a workout that nearly kills me. You have potential, but zero muscle memory. Relationship becomes her personal project to get me in shape. Morning workouts followed by protein shakes and relationship talks. She's surprisingly deep for someone who deadlifts twice my body weight. Talks about overcoming eating disorders and building self-confidence. Her apartment is like a fitness magazine with equipment everywhere. Meal prep containers in the fridge, organized by macros. Dating. Rebecca improves my physical health dramatically. Learn about nutrition, exercise science, and mental wellness. She's patient with my complete lack of athletic ability. Everyone starts somewhere. Consistency matters more than intensity. Relationship ends when she decides to compete in bodybuilding competitions. Training season means no distractions, including cute boyfriends. Gives me a gym bag full of supplements and a detailed workout plan. Stay consistent and check in with me in 6 months. Still follow parts of her workout routine and actually enjoy exercise now. Seventh cougar is different from the others. Helen, 44, high school English teacher who grades papers at my coffee shop. Orders simple coffee with cream and actually says please and thank you. Always reading classic novels during her breaks. Starts conversations about books instead of trying to fix my life. Have you read any Hemingway, or do you just read social media? Lend her my copy of something I'm reading, just to prove I'm literate. She's impressed that I actually read real books. Helen invites me to poetry reading at the local bookstore. Her idea of a date is discussing character development over coffee. Finally, someone who wants to know what I think about things. Her apartment is wall to wall, books with cozy reading nooks everywhere. We spend dates reading together and sharing interesting passages. Helen treats me like an equal instead of a project to improve, teaches me about literature, writing, and critical thinking. Relationship feels more like friendship with someone I'm attracted to. Lasts almost 8 months, which is my record. Ends when she gets offered a position at a private school in Vermont. This is my chance to teach advanced classes and actually make a difference. She's genuinely torn about leaving, which feels different. Gives me her copy of Catcher in the Rye with notes in the margins. Keep reading and keep thinking, you're smarter than you realize. Miss Helen more than the others because we actually connected mentally. Back to coffee shop. But now I have a reading list and better taste in books. Coworkers start noticing the pattern of older women asking me out. Dude, you're living every guy's fantasy. Don't have the heart to tell them it's more educational than exciting. These relationships taught me more than college ever did. Learned about wine, food, fitness, business, medicine, and literature. Each woman contributed something valuable to my development. Never felt like I was being used because I got so much out of it. They wanted someone young and eager. I wanted someone experienced and wise. 8th cougar is currently in progress. Stella, 37, museum curator who appreciates good espresso, orders cortado, like Patricia, but discusses art history instead of legal cases, has opinions about Renaissance painters and modern sculpture, invited me to private gallery opening where I pretended to understand art, still figuring out what she wants to teach me, probably something about culture and aesthetics based on her apartment, original paintings on the walls and books about art movements. She's more mysterious than the others, asks more questions about my goals. What do you actually want to do with your life? First cougar to treat this like I might have long-term potential. Not sure if that's good or intimidating. Maybe I'm finally ready for something more serious than educational dating. Or maybe Stella is just better at hiding her improvement agenda. Either way. I'm learning about art and she makes me feel sophisticated. Starting to wonder what happens when I outgrow the student role. These women have taught me to appreciate quality in everything. Good food, good wine, good books, good conversation. Raise my standards for everything, including relationships. Maybe that was the real education all along, that feel when you realize every relationship was preparing you for the next level. My face, when I'm becoming the kind of man these women were trying to create,